It is March 29th, and welcome to another Wargame Talk, the semi-frequent podcast and news report for the Wargame Red Dragon community. So this week we have tons of news, starting off with the hot stuff from Red Dragon. Many people questioned how absolutely useless motorized decks felt compared to Airland Battle. However, UGen developer Mad Matt indicated why exactly they are the way they are. Quote, motorized decks are actually to be seen more as a vanguard or fast reaction group. We have left ALB's nomenclature for people to get their mark, but that one could indeed be renamed to something more proper. As a treat, UGen Systems has also released some stills of 4 characters that will be appearing in the single-player campaign. In other news, data miners were successful in figuring out all of the map names for the potential maps. Now, there was a lot of data, and there's no guarantee that all these maps will show up with the release. Some of them could be DLC maps planned for the future, but having said that, we do have a lot of names. So for 1v1, we have Nuclear Winter is Coming, Tropic Thunder, a land/sea map called Wonsan Harbor, Chosin Reservoir. For 2v2, we have Paddy Field, Tough Jungle, Plunging Valley, a land-sea map called On the Shores of Hell, a land-sea map called Gunboat Diplomacy, and Desert Maze. For 3v3, we have Back to Incheon, Korea Rocks, Montang 4, and 4 sea maps. They're called Alea Jacta West, Bulldogs and Vampires, Standoff in Barents, and Walhalla Deliverance. And finally, for the 4v4 maps, we have a land sea map called Straight to the Point, which we in fact did see in the closed beta, a 4v4 map called Floods, and a sea map called Water World. Now, like I said, there's no guarantee that all of these will be in the game, but data miners have been successful in gaining this information. Take it for what it is. As well, if you notice that there were a lot less people in beta this week, maybe you're in the wrong version of the game. UGen Systems opened up patch testing to the general public as they deployed a patch and allowed certain people to play it, but then they decided everyone, if they're brave enough, can go into what was going to be a very buggy patch. If you're interested in doing this for the future, go to the Properties tab in Steam under Wargame Red Dragon, choose the Beta tab, and then select any beta that is available there. For people who played this beta, they got to try out the 10v10 map Asgard, as well as Tropical Thunder and Chosin Reservoir. This patch will be deployed very soon. Moving on to community news, a lot of people have been organizing scenarios for the Wargame Red Dragon release. These are community organized games in which they'll play multiplayer games and they'll work out roleplay scenarios for those particular wars and how they would advance. So first off, and one that I'm actually quite excited about, is a Falklands Campaign. And it's currently in the planning phases, nothing concrete about this yet. They're trying to work out things like unit limitations, and if you're interested, you can find the link for the forum discussion in the comment section. Vietnam is also still in the planning phases. They worked out most of the decks, but if you're interested in taking part, definitely, once again, description, I have a link to the Vietnam one. As well, there is also Korean Thunder! This campaign starts in Beijing, moves through the Korean peninsula, and finishes off in Tokyo. Or maybe it goes the other way, from Tokyo to Korea. But regardless, the decks you'll be using will be very conditional. So, for example, if you beat the match very quickly, you will be using a fast advance deck that will be built for you in the next match, while the other team will get to use a deck that will favor turtling. if you're interested in signing up, once again, link in the description. They've done a lot of work on this already, so they're just waiting for a game launch. This week's Play of the Week comes from Crimson Nom Nom. He uses an Akula to kill an enemy armor while doing a 360. And so we're going to end it this week with a question. How would you make tanks more functional? Considering they are currently not very good except for the super heavies, how would you make all tanks more functional on the battlefield? See you guys next week. Number 1 computer game player in the world? Glorious Leader, of course.